I'm Lisa Prysock, and it's time for Tea and a Book Tuesday. I've got a cup of tea, and I'd like to share a little bit about a book with you. But here, let me show you my favorite tea mug first. There it is. It's got one of my favorite scriptures on it. I don't know who gave me this cup. I think it might have been my husband. But it's the verse, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him." And I pray that that is true for all of us this week. And the book I want to share with you today is a little bit more about persecution in Providence. I love this cover. Just wanted to share this beautiful cover, and I hope you're comfortable. I hope you have a cup of tea and a minute to chat with me about this book. It's filled with powerful verses, and it's sort of like a Regency meets Western pioneer romance kind of deal. It was sort of an ambitious project when I took it on, because it begins with a bit of a Jane Austen parody. And so I wanted to do a good job with it, and it starts out with kind of a classic opening couple of paragraphs, and then the story, and then it jumps into the story. So I hope you enjoy that part of the book. There's also a biographical, satirical character sketch on the characters in the book in the back of the book, and an author note that I think you'd enjoy very much. But I just love Jane Austen so much, and I also love the Laura Ingalls and pioneer kind of era. So this, I was just pouring all of that into this book at the time that I wrote it. So I think you're going to enjoy that aspect. But the main character, the main heroine in the story, her name is Chelsea Stanton. She's a squire's daughter, and she's living in England. She's the heiress of Cherrywood Manor. She's in the care of her aunt and uncle, Uncle Jared, and her Aunt Lydia. And there's these little touches of Austen names and in some of the characters in this book also. But they kind of they're squandering her inheritance. And the character, she's infatuated with Jane Austen books, and I think she just goes away in her reading and in her imagination to kind of cope with what is happening to her, because, her parents are deceased, and she's going through some trials. And there are some themes in this book about how much God loves us and how he sanctifies us when we invite him into our hearts, and he transforms us. And really, it's a book about enduring hardship and still knowing and believing that God loves us even when it's hard. And there are some really powerful verses in this book. One of my favorites is 1 Peter 1:3. That's in the book. And so I think that aspect will be encouraging for readers. Also, it does start out in England, as I said, but it does move to Kentucky. And it's during the 1870s, so it's that time period where the westward expansion is still going on, and it's a mail-order bride story. It is the romance of Chelsea and Braden McLean, and he's an Irish Kentucky preacher, and there's an antagonist in the story named Maggie. So there's some really great characters in the book. And and one thing I wanted to mention about Chelsea, she is a character who just has really big faith. And, she's dealing with challenges that are way beyond her. But she believes that she has a purpose and that God has a plan for her. And that's what I think readers will be able to walk away with when they read this book. If you're having difficulty at all believing that God has a plan and a purpose for your life, read this book, because Chelsea really demonstrates this, and I believe as you read it, you'll find it to be encouraging and empowering to you no matter what your situation is. And that is the message that this book delivers in a very creative way. So I hope that you'll share it. I hope that you'll read it, and I hope you'll enjoy it and tell your friends about it. So in closing, I just wanted to mention that there is a spotlight on Fanny Crosby, the famous hymn writer in the book, and also many readers helped name some of the animals in the story. There's an adorable Saint Bernard named Tiberius, and many other animals in the story, horses, for horse lovers, and you know I'm a horse lover, so, and there's a rogue also, the Earl, Rory, Thornbridge, so there's some adventure. One of my favorite scenes is the outhouse scene. You'll have to read it to find out about that. And there is a map in the book that I drew. It's with a fictitious city that I made or designed. I'm going to try to show you. So there you can kind of get an idea of the map that's in the book about the town. And it is based on a small Kentucky towns in my area, so it's kind of interesting. And I think that's about it, really. I just wanted to share a little bit more about it with you. I hope you enjoyed the Jane Austen touches in the book, the hero, and she really likes Jane Austen books. And I think the book will be encouraging to you. Thanks for joining me for Tea and a Book Tuesday. And if you've read this book, please go leave a review. And thank you so much. Hope you have a great week ahead. Love you guys.